I guess we'll start with the most recent stuff. I mean, 3 points on the weekend. How did you feel your time up there in Zelda?
Felt great. Personally, for me, it was nice to kind of have a weekend like that. I felt like for a little bit before, there was a little bit of inconsistency. So to kind of find kind of a rhythm again and kind of feel really comfortable with everything on the ice, it was great. It was awesome to have that weekend.
There's still, give or take a month and a half for the regular season, but you're coming close on wrapping up this first full regular season as a pro. Can you kind of, it's probably a loaded question, but sort of go through, the ups and downs, how you look in these first 50 plus games?
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's a loaded question. I'd say, I mean, there's so much to learn, and it's not so much about necessarily on the ice, but how you handle yourself every day and kind of the attitude you need to come to the rink. Um, Obviously, when I was at school last year, I had a solid spot. I knew my role every day when I was coming to the rink and for practice and in games. I knew what was going to be going on. And here you have a little bit more of that instability where I got to fight for my ice every night. I got to fight for a role on this team every day. And I think it's easy to kind of get down on yourself and kind of let things snowball, which at times I thought I was good at before at school with issues that would come up. But I realized that this year maybe I wasn't as good mentally as I wanted to be. So there's some things I had to learn and kind of almost get recentered with to, even if one mistake happens, like mistakes happen in hockey, it's a game, it's going to happen. But not to let those things snowball and just kind of stay present in the moment and just keep focusing on what I need to do and the effort I put forth every day. And yeah, even with the game schedule, I think a part of it too is things can snowball because you're playing so many games so quickly. You're playing Wednesdays and Tuesdays, and you don't have a full week to forget about what happened and move on. Have a couple practices to regroup. So that's been my biggest adjustment is kind of adapting to the schedule and how quickly things happen, and just learning to let things go and keep that confidence in myself and just keep going.
It sounds like you talk about a lot of mindset stuff.
Yeah.
I've heard of players going through these things and they get a mental coach. Is that something that's helped you, or are you using that, or are you doing something different to kind of keep that positive reinforcement?
I think, yeah, I do use a mental coach. She's great. I used her at Quinnipiac last year. The last 2 years, she's helped me a lot. But there are so many other pieces that go to it than just a mental coach. Like, yeah, you take the things you learn from her and like the strategies that she gives me and tips and things I should be thinking about and working on. But you also need, when I go home, I need to have time to separate myself from hockey. I don't want to just be like working and thinking all the time. Like obviously I go back and I watch film and I learn and all that, but you need to give yourself a break. You need other avenues to kind of like release any stress or tension or anything like that. Just kind of like to forget about the game, obviously for a little bit, it's always good. Like we just had 2 days off and I was on my apartment roof yesterday in the sun, like just not thinking about anything. I was basically tanning in March, in Rochester, which was great. And it's a great reset because now I come back to the rink and I can put everything into what I'm doing here and I'm not drained because I'm thinking about it at home. So there's a lot of avenues and things that go along with it. But for me, my mental coach and even family and friends or the guys on the team, like talking with them, just not even about hockey, but about anything, about golf and whatnot. All those things are super helpful for me.
You're obviously really trying to grow as a player, but are you growing as a person here too?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to. I think if you don't, you kind of you sink. It's kind of like sink or swim, and you got to fight for it every day. And you do kind of learn things about yourself. Like I feel like I've grown as a person. I'd like to say matured, even though I am a rookie, but I am 25. I feel like I've matured as a person while I've been here, and it's fun to be along on the process and see like where I've come from and where I am now, and where I hope to be going.
Ask is talking, I think somewhat chronicling an underdog story in the sense that you are one of those undersized defensemen that, undrafted and maybe overlooked at times, but said throughout your career, junior, college, here, you kind of, I don't know, maybe like playing to that underdog story. Do you sort of feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice proving people wrong and having, obviously you want people to like believe in you, and it would be really nice for everyone to be like, oh, he's a great player, like no doubts, everything's great. But it is so nice. It always sucks hearing the things you're not good at, but you do need to hear them. But when you have people that doubt you or don't think maybe you can do it, to be able to like stick it to them and prove them wrong is the best feeling ever. Even like to myself a little bit, like there was a time, for a long time, I didn't know if I'd be able to play pro hockey. I thought for a little bit like college would be, I'd make the most of that and then figure out. So I even like at times I proved myself wrong too. Going back to just sticking through the process and showing up every day and just enjoying it. That's a big thing for me. But yeah, it's fun being an underdog and proving everyone wrong.
Are there guys like growing up that you watched, like NHL players that maybe have similar mold to you that you kind of idolize or base your game off?
Yeah, similar players and I always looked at size. So like Torrey Krug, Jared Spurgeon were always guys that I loved watching just because they're so same size. So, I can take things from their games. I can't really look at Zdeno Chara and try to take things from his game. It's just not going to translate. Like that's just not going to happen. So you got to take things from similar styles and players. And like right now, I love watching Adam Fox. And, he's not like necessarily an undersized defense. He's not the biggest guy, but like watching things he does and how smart he is and just little like deception he has with the puck is like those are things I can take into my game as an undersized defenseman and translate it.